Snow is moving across, even some bursts of some heavier snow possible. Thank you for joining me. It is Saturday, February 7th, 2026. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields here on Snow Bros, and we may put out some additional updates on this if you are subscribed to this channel. So many new subscribers. Thank you. If you're subscribed, you'll get those notifications. This is what we're watching. These snow showers, again, this is not a huge system. We always keep it in perspective on this channel, but from New Jersey all the way through parts of New England, back through New York, we've been watching some of the snow. We had it in other parts of the mid-Atlantic as expected yesterday. Everything right on track, and you can see where it's coming down. What's going to happen though is as this kind of clipper system builds off the coast, it's going to feed off the water a little bit. That is going to pump in a little bit more moisture. So watching that, here's that pocket that just came out of Delaware. Still watching a band of some snow back through parts of New Jersey, right along the shore. But as we work our way from Long Island and then coming out of the Albany area, right through New England, we're going to see these bursts of some of the snow as we go through the entire day, even lingering into tonight. So as I mentioned in yesterday's video, we could actually get some decent pockets of snow. Again, we're not talking about feet or snow or anything like that, but some pretty solid pockets of snow. Here's Albany, Saratoga Springs. You see as you work your way across Western Mass, we'll see some of the snow trying to work in. We'll keep an eye on it over toward Worcester, back toward Boston, over toward Plymouth, some heavier snow, and then parts of Connecticut and Rhode Island. This little pocket in here, watching that for some of that snow that will be building, and then eastern sections of Long Island in particular. So let's go step by step. That's what we're dealing with this morning. Here's 1 o'clock today, and you can see again some of the snow coming out of Albany. Here's Springfield, for example, as I mentioned. Then we work our way back through parts of Vermont and New Hampshire, especially southern sections. We'll cover that, but these pockets, these bursts of snow, the white shading you're seeing here, here's a zoomed down look at 1 o'clock and you see some of the snow. Here's Coventry, you get toward Warwick, could have some of the snow kind of on and off Woonsocket, so Cumberland, Valley Falls, Providence right through here, Hope Valley over toward South Kingston, you get over toward Portsmouth and Newport, seeing some of that snow, Norwich, New London, some of the snow, New Bedford, and then again along the Cape, pick your spot anywhere from Mashpee Commons, swinging right up through Provincetown as we go through the day, lifting to the north. This is 1 o'clock, and I mentioned parts of eastern Mass, but also watching New Hampshire for some of that snow that could be a little bit heavier. Here's Manchester. We swing back toward Lowell, swinging all the way down toward Brockton. Some of the snow could be a bit heavy. Gloucester swinging just to the north. Some heavier pockets of snow at 1 o'clock, and then lifting to the north. Here's Manchester again. So keeping an eye on Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. A little bit more so though as we work our way through New Hampshire, closer to the Boston area, where we're going to have some of those higher pockets. Now by 4 o'clock, some of it tries to shut off. You can see as we get into western portions of Connecticut, not a lot building back toward New York City, but as we work our way toward Long Island, eastern end, still coming through Hartford, Manchester, Waterbury, some snow showers, seeing that as well over towards Southborough. But again, the Cape, some of these heavier pockets into the north. This is by 4 o'clock, and you can see Long Island right in through here. So the borough's not seeing really anything, but we swing to the eastern end of Long Island, watching out for some snow, keeping an eye on New London as well. We may see some of this building back. And again, this is still 4 o'clock. Here's Somerset. You get over toward New Bedford, Buzzards Bay. So you're looking at the Sagamore, the Bourne, as you work your way through, back through Falmouth, Surf Drive, Mashpee, Hyannis, watching out toward some of the areas where we could see some of the heavier snow, and watching out for these pockets as well. Martha's Vineyard by Oak Bluffs. Back through Nantucket, some of the snow will be a possibility. Then by 8 p.m., we're talking about just really snow showers, with the exception, though, still keeping an eye on parts of Rhode Island, Connecticut, eastern Long Island, and the Cape, where we could see some lingering snow showers that are kind of significant. And because this is going to go on for some spots for all day, that's why we could actually see some of those sneaky amounts that I mentioned yesterday, 3, 4, maybe 5 inches of some snow in some spots. This is 8 p.m. Here's Hartford right here. You get by the Civic Center. There's some of the snow swinging back through the Hamptons, keeping an eye on scattered snow showers, but still some of the pockets of Harwichport, Hyannis, some of that snow. And then by 10 o'clock, some residual snow showers, but these could give us at least another coating or at least another dusting in some spots through here. And then watching out toward parts of the Cape for some of the lingering snow. By 6 in the morning, though, tomorrow morning, you can see here just some leftover snow showers will be possible. And these streaks, when I see these on radar indicated models, that's telling me we're going to have those really strong winds. We know we're going to have the gusty winds we were covering in previous videos, and that goes along with some of the colder weather we're going to see. Now, this is a different model to fine-tune some of the snow totals. I think it's a little bit high. We don't just spit out the data. We kind of really analyze this. But you can see where these brighter colors are, it just gives us the potential of some of that snow in through here. I mentioned you get back toward parts of New Hampshire, right through Boston, South Shore down through Providence, and then keeping an eye on Newport, of course, but on the edge of, say, New London, and then we build back toward eastern sections of Long Island, and then right out through the Cape, these kind of hotter colors in here, that's where we could get about 3 to 4 inches of some snow, additional snow. So right in through here, you get toward Maynard, back toward Boston, swinging back toward Plymouth. Right in through here, some decent totals that we could see, even back toward Falmouth, swinging back through the rest of the Cape. So just where these brighter colors are, just as a whole, take it with kind of a grain of salt. 3 to 4 inches in certain pockets of additional snow will be possible, and that is some nuisance stuff, no doubt. And then tonight, even colder. We know it is cold now. It's going to be cold through the day. Tonight, it gets even colder. The actual air temps we're preparing for running at about 25 below, and keeping an eye on the Atlantic region of Canada as well. Most of the snow and all that action stays to the south. New Brunswick, we've had some of the snow showers from this morning, but look at that cold Ottawa, right around 25 below by tomorrow morning. 2 below around the Providence area, for example. So it's going to be really, really cold. Those are the actual temps. That practicality, we need to prepare pipes, that sort of thing. But throw on that wind chill factor, we're looking at about 15 below by the Cape, 35 below in Maine. Watching New Brunswick, Montreal, we're pushing about 35, 40 below with the winds. And then the actual air temps tomorrow morning swinging back through here, back through Pennsylvania. Here's Ohio, West Virginia, swinging back toward Delmarva. Across Maryland will be right near zero in Philly. That's how cold it's going to be. Even colder as we work our way toward Altoona, Johnstown, back through State College, over toward Pittsburgh. Even colder, especially with those wind chill factors, about 10 to 20 below by the time we get into tomorrow morning. So that New England snow lingers, and keeping an eye on Long Island as well, especially eastern sections. And again, still seeing some of the snow this morning in the Albany area that's going to be moving out. Pockets of heavier snow, and then watching that colder air sweeping in. But it does look like some warmer temperatures are going to be headed our way as we work our way into next week. That is some positive news for many. And then we should see some bigger systems forming later in the month. And Matt and I will be covering that further as you're subscribed to this channel. So again, kind of a busy Saturday and a super cold Sunday on the way. Thank you for being part of Snow Bros. Be safe if you're dealing with some of the snow. Have a really good weekend ahead.